Hello friends, I am back with the second tutorial in this series, Android app development. So by now you must have researched about developing Android applications and how to make your first application and everything. And in the previous tutorial I told you that what all you need to know before you start the Android application development. So I hope you all are through with this, and if you are not, then you can go through the things which I told you in the previous video, and you can see all the videos in the playlist. I'll be creating a separate playlist for this Android app development, so that you don't have to search for the videos throughout the YouTube or throughout the channel. You can simply copy the link to the playlist and save the link to the playlist, so that whenever you are free and whenever you want to upgrade yourself, or whenever you want to follow up with the next chapter, you can simply go to the link and start where you left. Okay, so uh, in the last video I told you that from where you can download Android Studio, as we will be using Android Studio for the development. And if you have not yet downloaded, you can go to Android Studio. Just a second, I'll show you from where you can download. You have to simply search for Android Studio. Android Studio. You can go to this download tab directly from here, or you can go from here, then you can go to the download section, and then you can download the Android Studio. Once it has been downloaded, it will be installing, and as always, once you have started to install, it will ask for number of options to customize and add certain functionalities to this. And then it will again keep on downloading and downloading for till eternity, till it has completed all the download things. So we'll close this, and once you have downloaded this, you have to start this from this installed part. I have this shortcut here, and I have opened this Android Studio window for you guys. So if you want, you can directly go with like start the new Android Studio project and whatever you want. So I was kind of thinking that we should go ahead and start it right away. And this is going to be a short video, as we will not be adding too much of the functionalities over here. We will be simply setting up this Android Studio project. We'll be creating a new blank project, and we'll be talking about certain things which pops up as the uh, creation of the new project proceeds further. And then we'll be setting up the emulator, so that we can check whatever we are developing in the emulator on the screen. So let's go ahead, and first, like, the first screen after that is you have to check what kind of screen you want by default. And these are for different platforms. So if you are targeting phone and tablet, you can select any one activity from these activities. If you are targeting the Wear OS basically is like the device, the watch, Android watch or smart watches, which are now being circulated in the market. Smart TV, Android Auto, then you can go for Android Things as well, Internet of Things, which are based on Android operating system. So we'll be continuing our tutorial with the phone and tablet series first. Once we have completed all these things, then we'll be moving on to the Wear OS, TV, Android Auto, and other things as well. So there's a set of different activities which Android Studio will give you as an option. So if you don't want to add any activity, you can go with add no activity, but I recommend you do not do this. You should add at least one of the activity, as this is the beginning and you are just starting to learn. You will be facing certain problems if you select add no activity, as this option will not declare anything in the main feast file, and then you'll have to go and declare it in the main feast file as what will be the default activity when you start your project or do you run your project. So whenever you create an application and install that application in your phone, on your phone, then whatever the default activity is set in the main feast file will be the first activity to run, and from there on we can provide the functionalities and pop up other screens and every other thing. So I suggest you go with the empty activity first. So I'll select this for you and we'll click on next. Then there is the option of providing the name of the application. Then you have to provide the package name, then you will have to provide the location where you want to save it, then you will have to select the language, minimum API level, and then these two other options. So I'll rename it as my first application because we are creating this first application in this tutorial series. So this is the package name. So this can be whatever you want, but the domain should be yours. So this package name should be unique across the Play Store. So if this package name is being used by any of the application, I mean any of the application, it will be rejected by the Play Store when you will be uploading it on the Play Store. Okay, then you will have to select this location. So I'll have this in tutorial sections because there are certain live projects which I was working on, and I've created an Android folder over here. I'll click on OK, and then we'll extend this because I cannot put it here directly. So I'll create a new folder which will say my FIRist app. Sorry, my bad. So I have selected this folder, and I'll show you my folder directory for this as well. So here is the first application folder, and all the code which will be generated by Android Studio will be pasted over here. Not pasted, will be saved over here, and we'll select Java as the development language because this entire tutorial series is based on Java. We will be covering Kotlin once we are completed with this Java series. Okay, so this is the minimum API level. So minimum API level is the API level which Play Store uses to promote or display your application in the Play Store. So if I am targeting a minimum API level as 4.0.3, so any device which contains operating system below this 4.0.3 will never see your application in the Play Store. But there is a cost, like if I can go and straight away set the API level 9, which is the least option this is providing, but there is a cost for that because every Android update comes with new features and new updates and new hardware support. And if I say if I am giving functionality for Android 9, that is a Pie, Android Pie, and I target the version Android 2.3 Gingerbread. So on most of the devices which are using operating system below 9.0, this application will be of no use as there will be no API support on the operating system when this application will be installed, and this application will be useless and it might crash several times because it will not be able to find the required APIs or the code. So I suggest you leave it default by default whatever this Android Studio is giving you the option, and you can use this. Project will support instant apps. I recommend you do not do this because it will again download Android instant app library, and it will consume a lot of your time. But if you are developing the applications day in and day out, this option will save a lot of your time, as whenever you make any changes to the code and you click on the instant run button, it will simply refresh the activity instead of relaunching the whole application, and it will save a lot of time and CPU as well. So as of now, I'll keep this unchecked because I don't want to waste your time in downloading this application, this library, as we go through this tutorial. But in the future tutorials, once we start developing the application, I'll check this up and download the library so that I can show you the functionality as well. So I'll click on finish to see the code which will be generated over here. Okay, so see, it has started generating certain code. So now it is through with that. So here is the list of file which is generated over here. So don't be afraid why it has generated so much of files. We'll be discussing everything as we go down the tutorials. Okay, so once you come in the app folder, there are certain folders. You have to deal with this folder mainly by yourself. App, then this folder contains the source which you will create. Main, you have to deal with this main, Android test and test. You don't have to touch this folder. Once you go in the main folder, this Java folder contains your Java code, and then you will see this is the whole package path, the com.vericated.my first application. Then we come back to main folder. It contains res. So res is the resources folder, where it contains all of your drawable files, all of your XML files and everything, like strings.xml styles and everything. So we'll be handling all this code through these folders, IDE structures. So guys, forgive me if I am not fluent with the English part, or if I am not fluent with this tutorial thing, because I haven't been doing this tutorial thing for a long time, and I have restarted this. And as we have created this first application, then in the next tutorial we will be adding certain elements like buttons and text fields to display it on the screen. And by the time I will come back with the tutorial, I let this Gradle thing download, because this is the thing which makes your application work in the Android environment. Okay, we'll be discussing this Gradle and the functionality once we are through with the basic Java development code. Okay, so see you in the next tutorial. Thanks a lot for watching the video. If you like, you can subscribe the channel, you can share this video, and if you have any comments or if you have any feedback as in how I can improve my tutorial series so that it can benefit all of us, do mention in the comments. I'll get back to you all as soon as possible for me. Thanks a lot for watching this video. See you in the next video. Bye bye.